What is unconditional love? Looking at the word unconditional, it should be very obvious what unconditional love is. It means love without conditions. Unconditional love really means love no matter what. And there's a magnitude, there's a bigger picture thing here once you start looking at this thing spiritually, what that means. Love is not something that you pour onto someone, okay? There is something more like infatuation, obsession, desire that we mix with love, this thing of love. Love is easier to understand when you have kids, because the kids, there's an interesting, for people who are into etymology, the word origins, innocent, if you look it up, it comes from the root of noxious, meaning harmful. Innocent means not harmful. And when I look at a kid and I see my own kids, I think, wow, not harmful. Sure, they smash each other's face in with rocks every day, but they're not harmful. They're not a threat. They'll destroy everything in your house and they'll destroy whatever they want, but they are not emotionally a threat. They can't harm you. There have been times where I felt like my kid could shoot me in the face, and in my dying breath I could say, "You've got jam on your shirt. You're so perfect." You know? But unconditional love. Let's say you love your kids and you don't love your partner. Well, what would happen? You love your kids unconditionally. You love your partner maybe conditionally. But what would happen if your kid started behaving like your partner? Or your kid grows up and starts to look more like your partner and starts to behave like your partner. Well, suddenly, the things that cause you not to love your partner anymore, your kid has done. So all of a sudden, there's a conditional love has replaced the unconditional love, because now your kid is acting in a way that you don't love. So your love was only ever conditional to begin with. You had a conditional love, but it was easy to love your kid because they were behaving in a way that you found lovable. So if we can't put conditions on love, then you have to love absolutely everything. The way I see it, you can't love one thing unconditionally and hate everything else. If you are open to unconditional love, then it doesn't matter if the person expresses the love as anger, if they hate you, if it comes out as violence. You have no choice. The unconditional means you love them no matter what. And not that you can go around living that way, but maybe you could, right? Maybe that's just exactly what you need. If someone asks for your car, you give it to them. Maybe that's the kind of reset you need to experience. I'm not telling you not to love the world unconditionally, by no means. But it is such a beautiful spot when you can melt into this world and say, all right, do whatever you want. Now, I have had a very hard time loving unconditionally since having a family. When your kids hurt or when they need, or when your family needs and you want to provide, it's easy to get caught into, I need my family to prosper and I don't care who I have to hurt in the process. Like, I need to get my family onto higher ground, and I'll push you off so I can fit us up here. And so there's a natural sort of competition that I constantly have to just, no one's trying to steal your bananas, okay? There's enough bananas to go around. We can live in this world peacefully. But very simple, short video. It should be a short video. Love everything. Just try it. Try it for a week. Try it for an afternoon. Let someone yell at you, and don't punish them for it. And try it, see if it kills you. There's a moment where it really became clear to me. Surprisingly, I was mowing the lawn, and we had just bought a house, and it was brand new to a riding mower. I'd never had a riding mower. I was always pushing the mower. And so I was riding around the house, and the lawnmower only had one gear. It had like a fourth gear, so it only had super fast. So I'm flying all over this place, bouncing all over the place, hitting potholes and all this stuff. I'm just loving everything about it. I'm whipping this thing around, and I mow, and I'm just loving my life. And I hang my big straw hat up on the hook, and I go inside, and my wife says, "You gonna leave that out there? You missed a spot." And it made me so mad. It really made me mad. And so I went out there, and I went, "Oh, you think you can mow? Oh, why don't you do it then if you know how to look?" And so the thing that I loved turned into like this anger thing. Nothing had changed. I was still mowing. It was the same yard, the same mower, the same day. It was within 15 minutes of loving this thing that it turned to anger and resentment. And what had changed was something internal. Okay? And so what happens really is love it's kind of like a spring. Love is allowed when you surrender and you're open and you're defenseless and you just don't care if they hurt you or not. I'm gonna give you a hug. I don't care if you like it or tell me I smell bad or you think I'm stupid. I don't know. But I'm just going to allow this love to spring out of me, to come forth. And I will enjoy this process. And what happens is when you become defensive and you constrict, you block the thing which is supplying you with love. So the love is something that fills you. It's like it fills you. And your attitude shuts it down. And so when you can see the world in this way, you really want to stop fighting things. Stop. I don't want to fight you anymore. The only difference between me having a great day and me having a miserable day is my attitude. It's not whether or not the other people in my life behave. It's my attitude. They can yell at me and tell me I burned the eggs and that my car is old and rusty and it's not a Chevy. And I can either be mad about it and lose my day, or I can just say, you know what, that's fine. And so that's really what the unconditional love lesson is about, is allowing the love to come over you and that you share that space of being filled with love with other people and not demanding that life be your way, you just accept life the way it is. So give it a shot. If you think I'm wrong, tell me how I'm wrong. I'd love to hear it. Have you ever experienced unconditional love? Can you experience it for an afternoon where you don't put any terms on the people in your life? They cut you off in traffic, they get your order wrong. Can you just love life for 1 hour, no matter what? And if you do this, expect trouble to come. One thing that I tell my wife, and I try to remember for myself, is if you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, exit as fast as you can. Hide yourself in a room for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it takes, and decide who you are. Say, who am I? What kind of person am I? And decide who you are and how you want to react. And get yourself collected, and then open the door and come back out and be that. Be that. And so just go into your space and decide, I want to love unconditionally. Hate me if you want it. Embarrass me. Call me a hippie if you want. But I'm just going to take an hour or a day or an afternoon or whatever it is that you want and just live unconditional love. And then you'll be able to hold yourself accountable later and say, I don't need conditions to be just so in order to be happy or in order to love someone. You can be a liar and a cheat and a swindler, and I can still love you. So let's do that. Let's give it a shot. See if you can experience real unconditional love. Love without boundary. Love without terms. What's it called that? Love without terms. And then let me know how you did. Okay.